Hey, shalom, shalom. Most High in Christ. Bless Officer Nehemiah. IUIC Houston in the classroom. We back. We back. You know what I'm saying? In front of a live studio audience. You know what I'm saying? All praises, brothers and sisters able to make it out. I'm gonna dive right into it. I got a lot. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to put this together, but I'm confident in it and I'm excited about it, right? So name of the class is called Faithful Unto Death. Faithful Unto Death. You know what I'm saying? We at leadership been bringing it out for a while now. How we got to get ready, how we got to prepare. And we're going to go over some things as we go over some things. You know what I'm saying? Get Matthew 24, verse 3. We're going to start right there. I'm going to dive right into it. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. Come on.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the mountain of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
So the disciples asked a question that I'm sure we all asked. When gonna be the end coming? You know what I'm saying? When gonna be the signs of everything coming to pass? What's gonna be the sign of your return, right? It's a question I think we all got. And Christ answered them. Jump down to verse 6.
Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Christ said in the end, you're gonna know it's the end. Because you're going to hear wars and rumors of wars. Come on.
See that ye be not troubled.
He said, don't be troubled, though, when you see all these wars and rumors of wars going on. Come on.
For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Christ said, when you see all these wars and rumors going on, don't worry about it. This has to come to pass. But the end ain't quite yet. It ain't quite yet. Play that first clip. Because what Christ said in Matthew 24, we see it manifest before our very eyes. Come on. Right, this Netanyahu,
and our children.
The fake Jew.
2 weeks later, the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen launched drones and missiles at Israel. The first of 250 such attacks, including one yesterday aimed at Tel Aviv. Iran's Shiite militias in Syria and Iraq have targeted Israel dozens of times over the past year as well. Fueled by Iran, Palestinian terrorists in Judea and Samaria perpetrated scores of attacks there and throughout Israel. And last April, for the first time ever, Iran directly attacked Israel from its own territory, firing 300 drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles at us. I have a message for the tyrants of Tehran. If you strike us, we will strike you.
You could drop that.
There is no.
You could drop that. He said, hey, if you strike us, we gonna strike you. What Christ said, you gonna hear wars and rumors of wars. Israel right now wiping out all them Arabian leaders right now. They wiping out Hezbollah leaders, Hamas leaders. You see it. And what we seeing? Prophecy being revealed. And this is showing you that we at the end, brothers and sisters. We are very close to the end. Right? Play the next clip.
All right, guys, I just received some intelligence that the Iranians already have people inside the USA and they have come through the U.S. southern border. This intelligence comes from a couple of different open source intelligence outlets. They are all confirming the same thing. You'll see a little bit of this if you follow OSINT on different Telegram channels or different parts of social media. We do have some physical contacts inside of the OSINT community. These contacts are all warning us of the same thing, that if we allow, let me say that again, if we allow Israel to strike Iran the way that it wants to, the way that it says it's going to, not just these little strikes, I'm talking something huge, then Iran will activate the people that they have inside the USA, and no place inside the USA in particular will be safe.
You could drop that. You could drop that. That's them sleeper cells that Bishop been talking about for a while. That's Jeremiah 51:14. We ain't gonna get it though, because I'm gonna skip a lot if I go sideways. You know what I'm saying? But they got sleeper cells. He said if Israel attack Iran the way they want to, they gonna activate them sleeper cells, and no Walmart is safe. No Target, no HEB. They gonna just activate. You know what I'm saying? Get that article, number 3. Read verse 6 again.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled.
So when you seeing all these wars and rumors of wars, the Lord said, don't be troubled at it. Don't be troubled at it, right? Because all this has to come to pass. You got the article? I just want the top of it. We ain't gonna read it. I just want the top. I just want the heading of it. Go all the way to the top. Right there. Just read that, man, real quick.
Saudi Arabia and Iran squashed decades of hostility with unprecedented joint military drills.
Now, what's the significance of this? What's the significance of this? Iran and Saudi Arabia has been at odds with one another for decades. Hated each other's guts. Saudi Arabia was getting paid under the table by Israel. That's why Arabia didn't fully commit to going against Israel as of yet. But now they having joint military drills conducted. What is that? That is the Dragons of Arabia and the Carmanians coming together. That's what you're seeing right here. That's 2 Ezra 15. Like I said, I ain't going to go into it because I want to take it a different angle, but what you're seeing is wars and rumors of wars. Everything that Christ spoke about, we are living through right now. And this is an indication of what time we are compared to when Christ is going to come back, right? Get Matthew 24, read verse 7.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
You see nation against nation. You see the bricks coming up saying, hey, we don't want the American dollar no more. You know what I'm saying? All these wars and rumors of wars going on. Come on.
And kingdom against kingdom.
Uh-huh.
And there shall be famines.
That shall be what?
Be famines.
Come on.
And pestilences. And earthquakes in divers places.
Give me the next clip. Give me the next clip. Go ahead.
Sabah Ahmed Suel's struggles echo throughout Gaza.
It's a daunting task. I have to rest every flight of stairs.
The difficulty of trying to provide for a family when Israel has cut off an entire population from the resources they need to survive.
We can hardly find a loaf of bread, and if available, we just eat bread without any other food item. We do not have income, and even if there is nothing to buy, we cannot afford a decent meal. My children and I eat only a loaf of bread and only once a day.
Sheesh, pull it off. So right now, the Palestinians are what? In a famine. Israel basically besieged that area and nothing coming in or coming out. So what Christ said, it was going to happen again. Read verse 7 again, Mel.
Matthew chapter 24 verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places.
Right. They said a new strain of COVID done dropped already. Rollins is getting sick from that. We seeing everything that Christ said was going to happen, which is an indication of what timeline that we're in right now. We're at the end of days, brothers and sisters. We are very close, but something got to happen before that happen. Get Matthew 24, read verse 8.
Matthew chapter 24 verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
Everything we just saw and read, that's only the beginning of sorrows. It's only the beginning. Don't be shaking it in your spirit and mind. It ain't what Christ said going to happen yet. We're going to get into it. Come on, keep reading.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted.
Wait a minute. So the rumors of war is going to be happening. The famines, the pestilences, the earthquake. They had an earthquake in New York not too long ago. And New York never get no earthquakes. Know what I'm saying? We see all this happening. He said, but then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. That's where we come in. So we seeing all the other things come to pass. What that mean? We right at the brink of being afflicted. That's why the class is called faithful unto death. Because if we want the kingdom, we got to go through what Christ said has to happen before he comes and restores the kingdom to Israel. Right? Come on, keep reading.
And shall kill you.
Shall do what?
And shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
All nations means all nations. Not just the Caucasian man, not just the Arab man. Your own nation going to hate you too. And a lot of them going to give us up. We're going to get into it. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, get Jeremiah 30 and 7. I'm trying to get warmed up. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. Then shall you be afflicted, right? Then shall they deliver you up, and you're going to be hated by everybody. And we at the brink of that happening because we see all these wars and signs coming to pass. Come on.
Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like
He
it.
said it's a day that's nothing like it. Come on.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Who is Jacob? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Come on.
But he shall be saved out of
He
it.
said it's a day that's great. Nothing's like it. It's the time of Jacob's trouble. But you're going to be saved out of it. But you got to go through it. You got to get afflicted. You got to be hated. We got to endure this thing to the end. And the Lord about to test a lot of our faith coming up very soon. Get 2nd Ezra 16. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 74. 2nd Ezra 16, verse 74. Yeah, come on.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord,
Uh-huh.
behold, the days of trouble are at
The
hand.
days of trouble, Jacob's trouble, are at hand. We on the brink, brothers and sisters. And I keep saying brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Because sisters sometimes think that they're going to get absolved from it. Nope. No way. And I'm going to show y'all, they never absolved our women. And Deuteronomy said it show no pity to the male, the female, the young or the old. You don't know what type of people we dealing with? They said they have a cruel hatred towards us. And they going to show that cruel hatred real soon. But the question is, are you going to be faithful when they show that hatred? Come on, keep reading.
But I will deliver you from the
He
same.
said the days of trouble at hand, but I'm going to deliver you out of it. You know what I'm saying? The way some things be written sometimes, I'll be like, why you write it like that? You know what I'm saying? We about to catch all this, but he say, I'm going to deliver you out of it. It sounds so easy, right? But it ain't. Get Judith 8:27. Judith chapter 8, verse 27. Faithful unto death. Come on.
It's the book of Judith, chapter 8 and verse 27. For he have not tried us in the fire, as he did them.
The Lord hasn't tried us for real yet. Yeah, I know you haven't caused trouble. I know you having problems in your marriage. I know you probably got laid off from work. I know bills piling up. You know what I'm saying? I know you got corrected and you got offended. The Lord said he ain't tried us as he tried our forefathers, our foremothers. We ain't really get tried yet. All these many trials to build your spirit for that real trial that's coming. Come on, keep reading.
For the examination of their hearts.
We're going to get tried for the examination of our minds to see where your mind really at. Because everybody coming to Sabbath say, all praise to the Most High. I love the Lord. He said, okay, I like how that thing sound. Now you got to prove it to me. He gonna make every single one of us prove it. Come on, keep reading.
Neither have he taken vengeance on us, but the Lord doth scourge them that come near unto him, to admonish them.
The Lord gonna scourge those that come near to him. You know what that's really saying? The closer you get to God, the more you gonna suffer. The closer you get to God, the more you gonna suffer. You know what I'm saying? Is this truth that good now? You know what I'm saying? Brothers, just thinking on it. You know what I'm saying? This stuff I'm constantly thinking about. Acts 14. Trying to run through these quick because I want to get into the meat of the class. You know what I'm saying? I want to get into that affliction. Acts 14, 22.
The book of Acts, chapter 14 and verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith.
Why did Paul had to exhort the disciples? Why he had to exhort them to continue in the faith? Because when you read up above it, he got stoned to death, went to the third heaven. You know what I'm saying? He came back. You gotta imagine this. Imagine, I ain't gonna say it. Imagine one of our leaders gets stoned and you witness it. He come back and say, hey, we going back and teaching in that same street. You're gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? I saw you die. They killed you. You ain't have no posts. And now you back talking about we gonna teach in the same street? He had to confirm the souls of the disciples. And tell them what? Keep reading.
And that we must, through much tribulation.
No, we what?
Through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of God.
He said, we shall through much tribulation. Not just me getting stoned. Oh, your time is coming. That's what Paul telling them. And still in the same breath, exhorting them to continue in the faith, despite the suffering and affliction that we all going to have to go through. We all going to have to go through. First Peter 4:1. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 1. Come on.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4 and verse 1. For as much then as Christ have suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
Same way Christ suffered for us, we have to arm ourselves with the same mindset. He said, arm yourselves. Why? Because it's going to be a war. A war going to pop off soon against us. Not against Iran and Israel, Saudi Arabia. No. That war, they're going to turn all their attention and focus to us. We got to arm ourselves with the same mind as Christ. Come on.
For he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin.
Jump to verse 12.
Verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you.
Don't think it's strange because of the fiery trial. What trial mean? Tribulation, much tribulation, saying the same thing, which is to try you. What did Judah say? For the examination of their hearts. Come on.
As though some strange thing happened unto you.
You get fired or you get stoned, you get beat up, and you act like it's something strange. Lord, where you at, Lord? Oh, I'm still here. Are you going to be faithful? It sounds so easy to say. You know what I'm saying? In that moment, we going to see. Keep reading.
But rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
It said, rejoice when that fiery trial comes for you. How's that even possible, bro? How's that to rejoice when you catch it? When you going through the trouble, that's no day like it. I'm supposed to rejoice? Because you know our forefathers and foremothers went through it. And if they was able to do it, you could do it. Why? Because you are your forefathers and foremothers. You know what I'm saying? You reading about the same people who you were. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to leave it right there. 1 Peter 1 and 6. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 6.
1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 6. Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations.
The Lord say, greatly rejoice, even though now for a season, for a time period, if need be. Yeah, when y'all reading the scriptures, y'all gotta really focus on when the Lord put commas, semicolons, you know what I'm saying, periods. I always wonder why he said if need be. Rejoice greatly for a season, if need be, even though you're in heaviness through manifold temptations. Man, you catching trial after trial, right? He said it's necessary though, if need be. Keep reading.
That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold, that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ. That's
why it's necessary, because your trial of your faith is more precious than gold. The Lord is making you who he created you to be from the beginning. He making you worthy to inherit that spiritual body once again. That's why I said rejoice greatly, because you're going to be found with praise and honor at the glory of Christ. Imagine Christ come back and he look at you and he's honoring you. The Lord honoring you. Imagine that. But we got to go through that fiery trial first. We got to go through that. Go get Revelations 12 and what I'm looking at. Revelations 12:17. Revelations 12:17. Arm yourself with the same mind as Christ. Why? Come on.
The book of Revelations, chapter 12 and verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Who's the dragon? The so-called white man. It is what it is. And when you read in verse 3, it says the red dragon. Because Esau came out red and hairy all over like a hairy garment. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It said the dragon was wroth with the woman. Who is the woman? The nation of Israel. Hold that real quick. Jeremiah 6 and 2. I ain't even got this written. I know I shouldn't be adding these precepts, but I got to do it. Come on.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman.
So Zion, who is Israel, that's a delicate, comely woman. Go back to Revelations.
Revelations, chapter 12 and verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman. And
so the dragon, Esau, is going to be wroth with Israel. Come on.
And went to make war.
To make what?
To make war with the remnant of her seed.
Which do what?
Which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
So the dragon, the white man, is going to make war with us. What war lasts 1 week? Wars last years. Years of oppression. This was coming for us. Everybody got to come in them doors on a Sabbath day. Every time you put your fringes on, no, this is coming for you. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to fold or are you going to endure to the end? That's between you and the Lord. But he's warning you, telling you exactly what's going to happen and how to endure it. We're going to get into it. It said, make war with the remnant of our seed, which keep the commandments of God. So guess what's going to happen when he make war? Some brothers and sisters are going to act like they don't keep the commandments no more. Some of y'all going to be tucking your fringes in. Some brothers going to be tucking their fringes in. And you with that coat? No, I'm not. Okay. From your mouth to God is. Hey, get 2 Timothy 3 and 12. 2 Timothy 3 and 12. When they say make war, they're going to be making legislation up. They're going to be enforcing new orders. They're going to make it so you have to commit idolatry. Keep reading. 2 Timothy 3, verse 12.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 12. Yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Jesus.
Hold up. Show of hands real quick. Who want to live godly in Christ Jesus? Hey, everybody hand up. Come on.
Yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution.
You saying you want to get persecuted. You saying you want to get persecuted. You want to live godly? Okay, cool. Hold this persecution. You know what I'm saying? Hold this fiery trial to examine your hearts. You want to live godly? The Lord said, I'm going to prove if you're really godly. You're going to suffer persecution. It don't say might. It say it shall suffer persecution. You want to live godly? Cool. Just know that persecution comes along with it. And how do you know that? Because we read the examples of all our forefathers every Sabbath day. But they don't really sink in. And they ain't going to sink in until them trials start to hit, right? Get Acts 5. Let's go into some of that persecution. Acts 5 and verse 40. Let's go into some of that persecution that who want to live godly are going to suffer. Come on, Acts 5 and 40.
The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 40. And to him they agreed. And when they had called the apostles and beaten them.
And did what?
And beaten them.
So they put hands on the apostles. Come on.
They commanded that they should not speak in the name of Jesus and let them go.
Now, I know we always read the Bible with somewhat of a Christianity mindset or iframe. You got to know, this is black men we talking about. When it says they beat the apostles, how you think that went down? How you think that went down? They was beating them. Y'all brothers know. Y'all sisters know. Y'all seen fights, black people fights. They beat them. They put hands on them. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no just, hey, get up out of here. No. They was home. You know what I'm saying? Home. You know what I'm saying? Home. You know what I'm saying? I almost broke the mic. You know what I'm saying? That's how they was, bro. You gotta put your mind, yourself in the time frame that we're reading about. They was beating the apostles. And then they said, oh yeah, don't ever teach in his name again. Keep reading.
And they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing.
Doing what?
Rejoicing.
Doing what?
Rejoicing.
And First Peter said, rejoice greatly. When you suffer persecution, the apostles understood this. Come on.
Rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer shame for his name.
When that affliction come, brothers and sisters, rejoice when you get afflicted. Because the Lord seemed fit to have you suffer for his name. That's a great honor. A lot of people don't get that honor. A lot of people want that honor. You know what I'm saying? So when it happens, just rejoice. Don't worry about it. Keep reading.
And daily in the temple and in every house, they ceased not to teach and preach Jesus Christ.
Then they kept teaching. Imagine getting beat on by, I'm telling you, these wasn't no little weak little black men. These real black men, strong black men getting beat on. They say, don't do this again. And they go and do the same thing. That's the mindset we going to have. But a lot of us ain't going to have this mindset. A lot of us going to crumble under that pressure. That's why everything written aforetime was written for our learning, so we can learn from it and apply it. When our number is called, get 2 Corinthians 11:24. 2 Corinthians 11:24. Put hands on the apostles. I can imagine. You know, apostles wasn't just getting beat on. I know they was fighting back. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna jump me, y'all 10 deep, I'm catching somebody. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna just do me dirty like that. I'm gonna catch one. You know what I mean? Get 2 Corinthians 11:24.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 24. Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one.
Paul got beat on too. He said, 5 times I received 40 stripes. They was whipping him. Come on, keep reading.
Thrice was I beaten with rods.
He said 3 times I got beat with rods by black men who wasn't playing, who was trying to kill me. Come on.
Once was I stoned.
That's what we read in Acts 14 when you read up. And then he came back and taught again in the same spot that he got stoned in. Come on.
Thrice I suffered shipwreck.
Imagine going to the quest and that joint get hit. Imagine getting shipwrecked on a quest. That thing, bro, if y'all never been on a boat, it's pitch black at night. You can't see nothing. Imagine we go on a quest and that thing crash. You know what I'm saying? That's a test of faith right there. That's the test of faith, right? What we gonna do? Hey, we ain't going on another boat again. Nah. Maybe that boat was just it malfunction. We gonna go next year. We gonna go again. You know what I'm saying? That's gotta be our mindset. He said he suffered shipwreck. You seen a movie? I saw a movie when a girl was in a shipping container on the middle of the ocean. You saw that movie? That movie it was weird. It was weird. You know what I'm saying? But I could just imagine. You know what I'm saying? You on a piece of wood or lumber just in the middle of the ocean. And you like, Lord, are you there? He leave you out there for a couple of days, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Where are you? That's the thoughts that going to start running through our minds. So we got to prepare ourselves, right? Get Acts 21 and 30. Acts chapter 21 and verse 30. Come on.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 21 and verse 30. And all the city was moved, and the people ran together. And they took Paul.
Imagine the whole city rushing and grabbing you. Come on.
And drew him out of the temple.
They drew him out of the temple. He was fighting back. He wouldn't just say, hey, come and take me. Paul, like, yo, get on. You know what I'm saying? Yo, get on. He probably swearing on him. They drew him out the temple. Come on.
And forthwith the doors were shut.
Come on.
And as they went about to kill him.
Do what?
To kill him.
This wasn't no regular beating. When you read beating, just know they was trying to kill him. I know I grew up, when they used to beat people up, bro, I saw a dude get jumped. Bro, this dude jumped on top of the gate, and jumped down with his foot on the brother's face. Boom! That was in middle school. I can imagine what a grown man gonna do, you know what I'm saying? It said they tried to kill him when they drew him out. Come on.
And as they went about to kill him, tidings came unto the chief captain of the band that all Jerusalem was in an uproar.
Come on.
Who immediately took soldiers and centurions and ran down unto them. And when they saw the chief captain and the soldiers, they left beating of Paul.
when they saw the cops go, oh, yeah, all right, he good. He had enough. You know what I'm saying? They stopped beating him at that point. But this showing that this is some of the affliction that the apostles suffered, and we gonna suffer. You never seen us go to these church blitzes? We went to a church blitz and they pulled guns on us. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, this is gonna happen. And sometimes at camp, you know how at camp it starts to turn up, it gets a little violent, but then he falls back. It's gonna come to a point where the Lord say, no, attack them. See what they gonna do. And it's gonna be on a day when we got 5 brothers out there. We're gonna have 5 brothers out there. The whole hood gonna be mad at us. You know what I'm saying? They gonna come, bro, what you gonna do then? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna run and leave your brother? Or you gonna stay there, get whipped, and then come back with 500 brothers next week? That's what we gonna do. That's how we gonna move. Acts 16:19. I gotta read Acts, man. Acts is a heavy book. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these examples coming from Acts. Come on.
The book of Acts, chapter 16 and verse 19. And when her masters saw that the hope of their gains was gone, they caught Paul and Silas and drew them into the marketplace unto the rulers.
Because it was prophesying against the divination and the witchcraft that the lady was doing, that's bringing them a lot of money. Come on.
And brought them to the magistrates, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city, and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans.
So, so the Romans said, these Jews teaching laws and customs that it ain't even lawful for us to observe. And you telling me Paul gonna write a whole book of Romans to these same people? That's how you know them. It was Israelites in Rome he was writing to. Because they said at their own mouth, he teaching stuff that it ain't even lawful for us to observe. Keep going.
And the multitude rose up together against them. And the magistrates rent off their clothes and commanded to beat them.
Keep reading.
And when they had laid many stripes upon
stripes. Remember Paul said 5 times I received 40 stripes, save one. Come on.
when they laid many stripes upon them, they cast them into prison.
Sheesh. You get beat and then you want to throw me in jail. Come on.
Charging the jailer to keep them safely.
Jeremiah 20. Jeremiah 20 and verse 1. So we see examples of the apostles getting beat, Paul getting beat, right? Silas got beat. Come on.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 20 and verse 1. Now Pashur, the son of Immer, the priest, who was also chief governor in the house of the Lord, heard that Jeremiah prophesied these things.
So Jeremiah was prophesying. Come on.
Then Pashur smote Jeremiah, the prophet.
So Pashur smacked. I almost said smack. He punched him in the face. You know what I'm saying? Smoke. He punched him in the face. Come on.
And put him in the stocks
And then threw him in jail.
that were in the high gate of Benjamin.
That's all I want to know. That Jeremiah got hands put on him for teaching this gospel and throwing it into the stocks, right? Get Matthew 10:24. So we read all these examples, Jeremiah, the apostles, the disciples, Paul, Silas, right? Y'all think that ain't coming for us too? Y'all think Esau is going to just let us walk about on our day to day, and Christ come back and give us the kingdom over them? Absolutely not. Matthew chapter 10, verse 24.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 24. The disciple is not above his master.
Who is our master, brothers? Christ is our master. Who the disciples? Us. Come on.
Nor the servant above his Lord.
Who is our Lord, brothers? Who the servants? Us. So the scripture said we not above Christ, right? Keep reading.
It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master.
It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master. Keep reading.
And the servant as his Lord.
So we got to be as Christ. Come on.
If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub,
If they call Jesus Christ the devil, come on.
how much more shall they call them of his household?
How much more they going to call us? They call Christ Lord of the Flies. That's what Beelzebub mean, right? Lord of the Flies. How much more they going to do to us? It ain't just going to be name calling. There's going to be a lot more that come with that. If they crucified Christ, how much more they going to do to us? If they beat him to the point where his skin showed his bones. They beat him to his skin was ripping off him. You could see his bones. How much more they going to do to us? The disciple is not above his Lord. Just remember that. What Christ went through, we're going to have to go through. Get Matthew 26. What did Christ go through? That he say the disciple is not above his master. Matthew 26, I think it's 66. Read a little faster.
The book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 66. What think ye? They answered and said, he is guilty of death. Then did they spit in his face.
You got to imagine the humility of Jesus Christ. The same people who he created, he allowed to spit in his face. That's crazy. I created you, and now I'm allowing you to kill people. That's another level of humility. And I ain't reached that yet, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, Lord, where the angels at, Lord? You gonna let them spit in my face, you know what I'm saying? I already know I ain't there yet. I got some work I need to do, right? Read it again.
Then did they spit in his face.
That's like the ultimate form of disrespect. I pray don't happen to me at camp, bro. I'm going to be demoted. I'm going to be demoted. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be put out for a while. You know what I'm saying? Just a natural instinct for you to just spit in my face. That's crazy. But Christ took it and he ain't say nothing. Come on.
And buffeted him.
Beat him. Come on.
And others smote him with the palms of their hands.
They was smacking him. They was punching him. Keep reading.
Saying, prophesy unto us, thou Christ. Who is he that smote thee?
These niggas saying, hey, Christ, you the king. Prophesy. Who smote you? Boom, boom. You gotta imagine how many people was probably stalling off on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna show you how deep this get. Get Luke 22 and 63. They said, prophesy which one of us hit you. Why would they say that? Luke 22, verse 63.
The book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 63. And the men that held Jesus mocked him.
They mocked him.
And smote him.
Uh-huh.
And when they had blindfolded him.
They did what?
And when they had blindfolded him.
That's why he said, hey, prophesy which one of us hit you. Come on.
They struck him on the face and asked him, saying, prophesy, who is it that smote thee?
Prophesy, who is it that smote thee? Who smote you? They hitting him left and right. Now they say, prophesy which one of us smote you. Now, I know we're reading this, but we don't really get the understanding of what they were really doing to Christ. It wasn't just a hit and no. They were beating the hell out of Christ. I'm telling you straight. Pull up that picture real quick. Y'all should know this one. Pull that picture up. Emmett Till. Y'all all know Emmett Till, right? Lied on by a white woman before she died. I think she died, but she admitted that she made it up. And what they did to his face. Look what they did to this brother's face. One of our brothers, one of our people, right? Pull up the next picture. Kendrick Johnson, y'all know this? We out here, we fighting for this brother to get some justice right now. Sheriff Prime said no foul play. I don't think so. Not with a face like that. That is blunt force trauma you see to his face, right? Y'all see what we're looking at, right? That's some of the most horrific pictures you can find. A couple of them, just a couple of them, right? Read Isaiah 52 and 14. Remember, the disciple is not above his master. Come on.
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 14. As many were astonied at thee, his visage was so marred more than any man.
Read that part again.
As many were astonied at thee, his visage was so marred more than any man.
His visage. So when Christ got beat, his face was more disfigured than any man on earth. So when you look at them pictures of Kendrick Johnson and Emmett Till, they did Christ worse than that. Anybody you could think of on earth who they just whipped and beat and disfigured their face, Christ's face looked worse than that. Now put yourself in what they was really doing to our Lord and Savior. Now put yourself in his shoes, literally. You can imagine what he was going through. Now put yourself going through that. Because remember, the disciple is not above his Lord. This go for brothers and this go for sisters too. We're going to get into it. Get Matthew 20:22. Matthew chapter 20, verse 22. Come on.
Matthew chapter 20, verse 22. But Jesus answered and said, ye know not what ye ask.
Because the sons of Zebedee's children, the mother of Zebedee's children came and said, hey, let my son stand on the right hand of you and the left hand of you in the kingdom. He said, you don't know what you're really asking for. Come on.
Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of?
Are you able to have your visage so marred more than any man on earth? Are you ready for that? But guess what? Let me ask, are y'all ready for that? Keep it 100. Keep it 100. No, right? No, right? But guess what? Didn't you drink the bread and wine? Okay. Keep reading.
Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They say unto him, we are able.
When we broke bread and wine, you said we are able. That's why we try to tell brothers, hey, just wait, build yourself up. You don't know what you're really getting yourself into. Y'all don't really know what y'all part of in it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get real. Keep going. Keep reading.
And he saith unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup.
He said, you're going to drink indeed of the cup that I went through. You're going to go through what I went through. Come on.
And be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with.
Isaiah 13. Can you drink of this cup? Well, you indeed going to drink of this cup. He ain't give a chance to respond. No, they respond to me like, okay. Yeah, you for sure going to drink of this cup, right? Isaiah, what I said? Isaiah 13 and 2.
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
What's the banner? That's the Holy Bible. We are raising this Bible up. Every blitz, every time we go and teach, we really lifting the banner up. Come on.
Exalt the voice.
Exalt the voice. That's why we be yelling. Know what I'm saying? Exalt the voice. Come on.
Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand.
Shake the hand and point out the sins and the abominations. Come on.
That they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Uh-oh. That's going to cause them to go to the gates of the nobles. That's going to cause them to go to the gates of the noble. Every time you teach, you affiliated with us. It's the same thing as you yourself shaking a hand at them. Because when they afflicting us, they ain't going to say, oh, no, that's officer such and such. Oh, that's soldier, that's sister. No. They're going to say, that's one of them Israelites. That's what they're going to say. And guess what? Them going to the noble is going to lead us right into jail. They're going to put hands on us, and then they're going to put us in jail. Play that clip.
They put Moses in jail. They put Daniel in jail. Why, you haven't got a man of God in the Bible that wasn't put to jail when they started speaking out against exploitation and oppression. They charged Jesus with sedition. Didn't they do that? They said he was against Caesar. They said he was discriminating because he told his disciples, go not the way of the Gentiles, but rather go to the lost sheep. He discriminated. Don't go near the Gentiles, go to the lost sheep. Go to the oppressed. Go to the downtrodden. Go to the exploited. Go to the people who don't know who they are, who are lost from the knowledge of themselves, and who are strangers in a land that is not theirs. Go to those people. Go to the slaves. Go to the second-class citizens. Go to the ones who are suffering the brunt of Caesar's brutality. And if Jesus were here in America today, he wouldn't be going to the white man. The white man is the oppressor. He would be going to the oppressed. He would be going to the humble. He would be going to the lowly. He would be going to the rejected and the despised. He would be going to the so-called American Negro.
That's some good stuff right there. That's some good. Don't these sound eerily similar to how we teach? Because Malcolm X knew about the truth. The only reason he went to Islam because it was bigger at the time. But I'll be thinking like, man, Malcolm X was in the truth back then. The Lord like, nah, not yet. He would have been a beast of the truth. You know what I'm saying? He would have been a beast of the truth. The Lord's like, oh, no, not yet. Go that way. You know what I'm saying? Go that way. But everything he said was on point. He said they put Moses in jail. They put Jesus in jail. Every prophet you can name went in jail. Jeremiah went to jail. Daniel was put in jail. Moses in jail. Christ himself was in jail. Christ was on death row. Christ was on death row. You know he was a black man. Hebrews 11:36.
Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 36. And others had trial of cruel mockings.
Cruel mockings. A lot of this goes into the time of the Maccabees as well, but Christ had cruel mockings. We're going to get cruel mockings. That's where you get the ADL from, the SPLC, the Canary Mission. That's cruel mockings because they know exactly who we are. And yet they try to pull our name down by casting false imaginations to the people, painting false narratives, right? Come on.
And scourgings, yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment.
A lot of our forefathers and foremothers had faith even though they were in prison and in bonds. And guess what? That's going to happen to us too. Yeah, I know you got a nice job. I know you got a nice job. You know what I'm saying? Pay you very well, right? You know what I'm saying? You got a nice house too. You need that nice job to support that nice house. Hey, all praises to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But you going to jail. Get Mark 6. Get Mark 6. Mark 6 in verse 17. I'm about to be fat. You know, man, ain't no way I'm getting through these precepts. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there looking at it. There's no way. Come on, Mark 6:17.
Mark chapter 6 and verse 17. For Herod himself had sent forth and laid hold upon John and bound him in prison.
John was cast into prison. Come on.
For Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife, for he had married her.
So John was blasting Herod for marrying his brother's wife. Some wicked adultery right there. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't like that thing. Why was John correcting him? Because Herod grew up in what? They was going to the same schools. You know what I'm saying? We had synagogues, we had Esau all up in there learning under us. That's when John Arcanius made them learn our laws and when we got a little bit of power on the land at the end of the time of the Maccabees, all right? So John was getting on Herod. Herod said, nah, throw that nigga in jail. You know what I'm saying? Throw him in jail. Who you think he talking to? Imagine correcting a king, because imagine going to Trump and say, you want to miss a sin, Trump. You want to miss a sin, Trump. What are you going to say? Get this, you know what I'm saying? Get out, you're fired. That's what he's going to tell you, right? Get Acts 12. Acts 12 and verse 3. I know I'm about to skip a lot of this, bro. That's tragic. Come on.
Acts chapter 12 and verse 3. And because he saw it pleased the Jews.
It pleased who?
The Jews.
Then it say you're going to be hated by all nations. Come on.
He proceeded further.
Now this is Herod, I believe this is Herod Agrippa. Come on.
He proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread.
Right. So Peter was taken and put into jail as well. Keep reading.
And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison.
He put him where?
In prison.
Peter got locked up for teaching this truth too. We reading all these examples. You think it ain't gonna happen to you? It ain't gonna happen to us? You know, you got that crystal clean background and record. Not for long. Not for long. You're gonna be a convicted felon for no charges at all. They gonna say sedition. I'm telling you, they're going to make these laws, and it's going to be a crime to teach this Bible. When they outlaw the Bible, what you going to do? You going to keep teaching? It's easier said than done. I'm telling you. Come on. Keep, what I say, Acts 5:17. Acts chapter 5, verse, I'm trying to get to the point in a lot of these. Yeah, verse 17.
The book of Acts chapter 5 and verse 17. Then the high priest rose up, and all they that were with him, which is the sect of the Sadducees, and were filled with indignation.
Come on.
And laid their hands on the apostles and put them in the common prison.
So the apostles got thrown in jail too. Jump down to verse 25.
Verse 25. Then came one and told them, saying, Behold, the men whom ye put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people.
You see that thing? Because the angel opened the doors and they went back and they continued to teach. Imagine going to teach the same thing you got arrested for. That's some faith right there. That's willing to lose it all. That's being faithful in all situations, right? Isaiah 53 and verse 8. Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 8. And guess what? What the apostles went through, it ain't nothing that Christ didn't go through. That's why he said the servant ain't above his master. Right? Come on.
Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 8. He was taken from prison.
From what?
From prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken.
So Jesus Christ was himself locked up. That's why he said, no, give us Barabbas. He was on death row. They were deciding which one they was going to kill. Christ was in prison too. You think it ain't going to happen to you? Or you think, you know what? I ain't going to be on the streets teaching. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to play the behind the road scenes. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to play the behind the road scenes. I ain't going to put my face visible out there. You know what I mean? Okay. You think they don't know who you are? You don't think they recording everything that you text, every call that you make? You think they don't know what's going on? That you're going to escape the affliction? Nope. Nobody escapes it. You either endure it or you fold under it. Revelations 2. Those think they're going to hide from the affliction. Okay. Sisters think they're going to hide from the affliction. Okay. Revelations 2 and 10.
Revelations chapter 2 and verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
Easier said than done. Come on.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
All of us ain't going to jail, but a couple of us are. A couple of us are. It said the devil. Who was the devil at this time? Who was ruling? Rome. Showing that the devil was who? The so-called Caucasian man. The devil going to cast some of y'all into prison. Some of y'all. Come on.
That ye may be tried.
It's to try you. You got to have the mindset. They throw me in jail. Okay, bet. Everybody on cell block 1 going to be keeping the Sabbath day. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be keeping the Sabbath day. I don't care. It is. I'm gonna be teaching in there. And after that they gonna throw you in a solitary. I'm gonna be teaching through the vents. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. Come on.
And ye shall have tribulation 10 days.
10 days. That don't mean 10 exact. I don't mean brother gonna read that and say, I'm gonna get locked up and I'm gonna be out in 10 days. No. You might be years in that thing. And guess when you locked up? That's not just your trial, that's your wife's trial now too. Because now you're facing 10 years. You ain't getting out no time soon. Is she gonna stay faithful? Is she gonna keep keeping the commandments? Is she gonna keep raising your kids in the commandments? Is she gonna stay faithful and not cheat on you? I'm telling you. Every trial ain't for one person, it's for multiple people. Come on.
Be thou faithful unto death.
Be what?
Be thou faithful unto death.
He said, be faithful unto death. No matter you getting hands put on you, no matter you getting thrown in prison, be faithful unto death. Come on.
And I will give thee a crown of life.
Imagine Christ himself giving you a glorious crown and placing that thing on your head. Think about that thing. The creator of everything you see, you worthy enough. You so worthy, I'm going to crown you myself. With the same hands that they stuck through, I'm going to crown you myself. But we got to be faithful unto death, right? In Hebrews 10:33. You're going to kind of have to read fast on this, Bell. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even getting to the meat of the class yet. Come on.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 33. Partly, while as ye were made a gazing stock both by reproaches and affliction.
We are gazing stock why? Because we go on the streets and we teach. The foolishness of preaching is going to save our people, right? Come on.
And partly, while as ye became companions of them that were so used.
We're going to become companions. Just like they became companions, we're going to become companions of those that was used and disrespected and disregarded. Come on.
For ye had compassion of me in my bonds. And took joyfully.
And took what?
And took joyfully the spoiling of your goods.
They took joyfully the spoiling of their goods. Sisters almost catch a heart attack up in here. You telling me my 30 pairs of Giuseppe's is gone? I don't know what these sisters wear. What y'all be wearing? Whatever shoe you got, them things gone. You know what I'm saying? You telling me my 50-inch surround sound man cave is gone? That's what you telling me? You telling me my brand new Maserati is gone? Took it joyfully? You never been in an apartment in your life. Now you in a studio with 3 kids because they took your house. This type of stuff they're gonna be doing to try us. I'm telling you. Man, I know a brother who got a room full of shoes and sneakers. I always get on sneakerheads, bro. I don't understand it. I don't understand the logic behind sneakerheads. You walk in the shoes, right? Like, I know brothers who buy shoes and never walk in them. I'm like, yo. Those gonna be gone too. You know what I'm saying? Took joyfully the spoiling of your goods. All that food that you done prepped, gone. 2 Ezra 16-70. Second Ezra 16:70.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 70. For there shall be in every place in the next cities.
So you think you're gonna be saved? Oh, I'm in Houston. Tribulation coming. Let me ride up to Dallas real quick. Okay. It said it's gonna be in every place and in the next cities. You ain't escaping this thing. Let me go to New Orleans. Let me go to New Orleans. Nope, affliction there too. Okay, let me go to Shreveport, affliction. I'm going to go across the world. I'm going to go with nobody. I'm going to go to North Dakota. Ain't nobody in North Dakota. Affliction. They going to find you. They going to take everything you got. Come on.
For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
It's going to be a great insurrection. Pull up that definition. Insurrection. Read that real quick.
Insurrection, a usually violent attempt to take control of a government.
But wait a minute. I thought we was at the bottom of society. Why would it be an insurrection on us? They trying to take control of God's government that he's setting up. Every Sabbath day we keep, the Lord is setting up his government. I'm telling you, every high holy, the Lord slowly setting up his government. And they're going to violently attempt to stop that thing. And you're going to have to be faithful unto death when it happens. Keep reading 2 Ezra 71.
Verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none.
Sparing who?
Sparing none.
Oh, sparing our beautiful wives.
Sparing none.
Our beautiful mothers.
Sparing none.
Our beautiful nieces.
Sparing none.
Everybody going to get it. They going to be like madmen, sparing none. Keep reading.
But still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Still want to keep the commandments? Oh, man. It said those that fear the Lord. Not you fake Israelites that come in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the real believers. They going to attack them. Because they know if they get the real believers, they could remove the shaky believers. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
For they shall waste and take away their goods.
Take away all your goods.
And cast them out of their houses.
Imagine. It took you at year 29 and a half, about to pay off your 30-year mortgage. And they say, give me that. You know the spirit you going to be in, bro? You tell me I'm about to pay this house off, you taking it? It's ours now. Oh, you could keep it. Just denounce your faith. You got rank, right? Just plant this in the school. And you keep your house. We'll give you another house. How's that sound? Esau gonna come with all type of dirty tricks. But they gonna take everything we got. Those that fear the Lord. Tobit 1. Tobit 1 and verse 19. Give you an example of this. Yeah, come on. Read a little faster.
The book of Tobit, chapter 1 and verse 19. And when one of the Ninevites went and complained of me to the king, that I buried them and hid myself, understanding that I was sought for to be put to death, I withdrew myself for fear.
So Tobit was burying all the Israelites that was getting killed. Come on.
Then all my goods were forcibly taken away.
Well, what?
Were forcibly taken away.
That's why I said you got to put these black people we reading about. You think they going to come in the house and we going to just let them? Nah. They was forcibly taking it away. Some brothers going to be holding on to their 50-inch TV as they drag it out the house. Some going to be holding on to their basketball. Holding on to their football. No! Take everything. Leave my basketball. Forcibly taken away. Everything. That brand new car you just scraped and clawed your whole life to get. They taking that away from you. Man, you pay your car note off and they come the next day with a repo truck. That's how it's going to forcibly taken. Tobit went through it. Why, are we any better? No, we got to go through it too. The servant is not above his master. Philippians 3. Philippians 3 and verse 7.
Philippians chapter 3 and verse 7. But what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Christ.
This is how you're going to take joyfully the spoiling of your goods. Everything that was gained to you, counted loss for Christ. Paul was a Pharisee. Paul had status. Paul had money. Paul had possessions. Come on, keep reading.
Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Christ Jesus, my Lord.
You got to take a loss. We hear that all the time. We're going to have to take a loss. Count all things a loss for the excellency of Christ. Come on.
For whom I have suffered the loss of all things.
The loss for some things?
All things.
Paul lost everything. And he had money. He had money. You're going to go to your bank account and you're going to see 0.00. You're going to be like, it got to be a typo. Maybe the bank is closed today. You know what? This card been giving me trouble this whole. I need a new card. Let me go to a different ATM. 0.00. Let me go into the bank. Hey, sir, your account is closed. What? Your account is closed. Aren't you Israelite? Ain't gonna be that easy, you know what I'm saying? But they gonna do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? With a press of a button, your whole account is gone. You gotta start at square one all over. Are you gonna be faithful Or you going to let the material things distract you from the unmaterial things, the celestial things? Hebrews 11. I went through all that to get to this part right here. You know what I'm saying? This is the part, this is the meat of the class. Hebrews 11:35. Because losing your goods, that ain't that bad. Getting beat on, you'll heal. Getting in prison, you might get out. You know what I'm saying? But what about this? Hebrews 11:35.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 35. Women received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured.
Others were what?
Others were tortured.
Can you handle the torture, though? Will you handle the torture? I know you stub your toe now. It's like the end of the world, right? hit your toe on a piece of furniture. You start cursing out the furniture. But it said others were tortured. And guess what? Christ was tortured. Y'all understand Christ was tortured, right? He was tortured. Put on that cross and hung up like that, that's torture. That ain't no regular death. That ain't no, oh, let me get this bullet, you're dead. Nah, he was tortured. We going to go through the same things. Come on.
Not accepting deliverance.
Meaning not accepting deliverance. You didn't give up the ghost. You didn't say, I denounce my faith when you was going through the torture. But you got to build our spirits to that. Come on.
That they might obtain a better resurrection.
If you endure the torture, you're going to obtain a better resurrection. Wisdom of Solomon 2, real quick, before we get into that clip. Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 19. Torture is coming, brothers and sisters. Torture is coming, brothers and sisters. Come on.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 19. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture.
And what?
With despitefulness and torture.
Despitefulness and torture, come on.
That we may know his meekness and prove his patience.
You're going to be getting tortured. Esau going to be right there looking at you. You ain't going to denounce your faith? Where's your Lord at to save you now? Doesn't it hurt? All you got to do is say, Donald Trump is king. I'm telling you, they could be throwing stuff like that out there at you. And you're going to think, man, I could just say this, I'm good. No, you denied Christ. You didn't confess Christ. And guess what? He ain't going to confess you. Pull up number 9. There we go. These are horrifying deaths and tortures that was done to early Christians. When they say insurrection, I always correlate it to the Inquisition. In the Inquisition, they were inquiring who were keeping the commandments and torturing them to either denounce your faith or go meet your maker. This is some of the things that happened to them. Go down to number 10. Hold on, let me see. 11 is out. Now go to 10. I ain't gonna be able to hit every one. I want to hit certain ones. Read that real quick.
Number 10, cooked to death.
Now, disregard the picture. These black men we talking about. Come on.
St. Lawrence of Rome is more well known for the manner of his death than his ministry in life.
Let's jump down to the infuriated.
The infuriated, perfect ordered metal plates to be set over a bed of coals and heated until they were red hot.
So he was taking he was helping up the congregation. He was giving them food, right? So they took metal plates and put better coals and heated them till they were scorching hot. Come on.
Lawrence was then bound and laid naked on them face up.
Imagine you butt naked and they throw you on that thing. Come on.
His flesh sizzled, smoked, and was burned black.
He was already black. Come on.
Yet Lawrence made no outcry.
He did what?
He made no outcry.
Getting burnt to death and you not even screaming? Come on.
Nor did he beg forgiveness for the perfect.
Uh-huh.
He finally called in a clear voice.
What'd he say?
I'm done on that side.
He said, hey, I'm done on that side. What else he said?
Turn me over and eat.
You know he was black. You know he was black. He said, hey, I'm done on that side. You getting burned to death. You getting cooked alive. And you turn around and say, I'm done on that side. That's crazy. Scroll down. Drag to death. Come on.
Number 9, drag to death.
Them ads is don't try to throw us off. Come on. We're going to stay in the spirit.
Mark, who wrote the Gospel of Mark, founded the Christian church in Alexandria and preached to the masses.
Jump down right after AD 68 when an angry mob.
AD 68, when an angry mob tied a rope around his neck and dragged him through the streets behind a chariot for 2 days without interruption.
2 days straight, they just dragged him around the city. This is Jacob's troubles, brothers and sisters. This is that, then shall they be afflicted. This is what we're reading. Go to number 8. I'm skipping a lot of this. If y'all want to argue, I'll post it so y'all can read it. Removal of the skin. So they were skinning us alive. Keep going. I want a specific one. I know the time is running. Sewn in. So this went crazy. They would kill animals, sew us inside of the animals, and allow the dogs to eat us inside of that dead animal. Scroll up a little bit. Yeah, we're going to read this one. Come on.
This torture was devised by Nero himself.
Wicked Nero, come on.
Not merely to cause Christians pain, but to entertain him and his guests. Nero was infamously rumored to have crucified Christians on trees in his gardens, coated them with wax, and set them on fire to light his nightly walk.
This is what they was doing to us. And guess what? Them same people that was doing this is your neighbors. You see them every day when you go to the store. They're your politicians. They're your senators. They're your presidents. Just like we back, they back. And just like we trying to get back to the same mind we had, they still got the same mind they had. Come on.
He evidently didn't mind the stench.
Because he nasty. Come on.
Others he ordered sewn into hides.
Uh-huh.
Any large animal with skin, and the prepared skin sewn around the victim, except for the head, hands, and feet.
So he sold them inside the animal and left your head out, your hands out, and your feet out. Come on.
Then ravenous dogs were set loose. The victim could only scuttle around on all fours like a crab.
Look what they did to our forefathers. Come on.
Nero was said to have laughed heartily as the dogs gnawed at the skin as they would be a bone.
Scroll down. Number 6, starved to death. So they were starving us to death. Keep going. Scroll a little slow. I want to see. I'm looking for a specific one. Keep going. They boiled us to death. Keep going. Hold up. That happened to John the Revelator. But guess what? He didn't die. And then they threw him to Patmos because he didn't die. Keep going. Hold up. Yeah, keep going. The Inquisition's auto de fe. That was the Spanish Inquisition. They would run around torturing us. All type of different methods. Keep going. Yeah, keep going. Hold up. Well, I'll just tell y'all what this one was. They would tie your arms behind you and then pull your arms up and dislocate your shoulders and cause you and say, hey, you better confess or we gonna kill you. And if they confess, they left them in jail for 3 months until they healed up. Crazy. Keep going now. Ground to death by a mill. Keep going. Hold up, let me see. Nope, that ain't what I want. Keep going. Broken on the wheel. Go down. Hold up. That read where it says he was martyred along with 3 others. The second paragraph, the second line. He was martyred.
He was martyred along with 3 others, Paul, Andrew, and Dionysia. Dionysia was condemned to be raped to death.
Dionysia was condemned to be raped to death. This is a woman. This is a sister. Come on.
But tradition holds that an angel spared her.
So they say she's about to get convicted to be raped to death, but an angel spared her. Come on.
And the 3 nominated rapists ran away in fear.
So angels probably popped up out of nowhere. They was gone. Come on.
She then escaped prison.
So then they threw her in jail. She escaped jail.
But desired to be martyred like her friends.
Where these sisters at? Come on, keep reading.
And allowed the authorities to recapture her.
What type of mindset you had to be? You escaped. The angels let you escape. And you say, nah, I want to be killed just like my people got killed. I ain't about to escape that. I ain't above my master. This is a sister we're reading about. And you think this tribulation ain't going to come to the woman too? That's why we got to build the woman up too. I remember my rib asked me one time. She said, will you see us in 5 years? I said, dead. I'm trying to prepare for what's to come. You know what I'm saying? Hey, drop that. Pull up number 10. I posted if y'all want to read it. That thing crazy. I don't know the title of this book. I forgot, but I know I got it on Hidden History. Shout out to Hidden History. Read that. You got to read quick, Mel. Start at the highlighted.
Part 2, the training for martyrdom. A study which usually follows the work of ciphering how some Roman officials were assisting in the torture of a dying Christian saint, said one to another. This is really marvelous. This power of disregarding pain and agony.
So when they was torturing them, they said, man, he disregarding everything we doing to him. It sounds familiar? Come on.
Nothing seems to move him.
Nothing seems to move him. Come on.
He has a wife and little ones.
He has what?
A wife and little ones. But even the love of these touches him not.
Think what they're going to be doing to us. Imagine you locked up and they take your precious little daughter and say, disregard Christ and that faith, or we going to rape her in front of you. You know what type of faith you got to be built up? Hearing the screams of your little girl or your little boy. It said they didn't even touch him. We got to draw parallel. We got to build ourselves up to get to this. We got to train for martyrdom. Come on.
What is the secret of his strange power? It can surely be no imaginary faith.
So the people who was torturing him said, for him to be acting like this, it got to be real what he believe in. Come on.
It can surely be no imaginary faith which enables him thus to welcome such suffering.
To welcome such suffering.
Such a death.
Faithful unto death. Keep reading.
The moral effect.
Now, I don't want that. Go down a little bit. Is there more on that? Lucky and the Scrupulous. Nah, give me the next one. I got to skip a lot of this, but it is what it is. Read the highlight on the next one. Matter of fact, go back to the other one. My bad. You got to read that bottom part. Read For the love of their divine master.
For the love of their divine master, for the cause they believe to be true. Men, and even weak girls.
Who?
Even weak girls.
Men and even weak girls.
Endured these things.
They endured the torture. They was faithful unto death. Come on.
He has been detailing some of the well-known tortures and deaths of the early Christian believers.
Now I go to the next one. Go to the top. Yeah, read that.
Without flinching.
Without flinching, they was accepting their death.
When one word would have freed them from their suffering.
Imagine that. All you got to say is one word and they'll stop it. They was quiet. They ain't make a sound. Sounds familiar? Did Christ make a sound when they was killing him and torturing him? The disciple is not above his master. We got to go through it. Scroll down.
Every effort was made by the more far-seeing of the Roman magistrates to induce the accused Christian to recant and to yield to the will and wishes of the imperial government.
They did everything they could to make them recant their faith. Keep reading.
In countless cases, this yielding was made seemingly very easy.
Come on.
Just a few grains of incense thrown upon an idol altar.
They made it easy. Hey, bro, just throw a couple of on the altar. That's it. You ain't got to sit here and sacrifice and just throw a couple of these incense on the altar. Come on.
Just an acknowledgement of the divinity of the reigning emperor.
Just acknowledge him to be king. That's all you got to do. Ain't nobody looking. Ain't nobody looking. Nobody going to find out. But the Lord is always looking, right? And they know he real. No matter how much they try to deny him, they know he real. And they know it's real when you deny him. Scroll down. Go to the Christian senator.
The Christian senator, who for the sake of Christ had given up a beautiful home.
Gave up a beautiful home. Took joyfully the spoiling of his goods. Come on.
An exalted rank.
He had status. Just like Paul had status. And he counted everything lost for the excellency of Christ. Come on.
Would be reminded by his pagan colleagues on his judge's seat of the inescapable duty which one in his great position owed to law.
2 Maccabees 6, real quick. It said one word would have freed them. They made it so easy to go against the Lord and recant their faith. It sounds eerily similar to this example. 2 Maccabees 6 and 18.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and of well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment.
So for some pork, Eleazar took that torture. And they did him dirty. Like when you read on, it said, hey, you can eat your own food. We got to read it. Jump to verse 21.
Verse 21. But they had the charge of that wicked feast for the old acquaintance they had with the man. Taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision.
It said, bring your own food. Come on.
Such as were lawful for him to use.
Bring some lawful food and you can eat it. Come on.
And made as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice.
All you got to do is make it seem like you ate it. But in actuality, you're not really eating it. You're not going against the Lord. Well, Eleazar said, kill me. And they tortured this brother. An aged man they tortured. They don't care about your age. They don't care about your gender. They care about an insurrection preventing the government from being established on earth. Pull up number 12. Read that.
And yet, more moving appeal was very often made to the brave Christians of both sexes.
No, only men.
Of both sexes.
Okay.
By an eloquent magistrate to show some pity for those they love. For their aged father and mother.
They was making eloquent, hey, bro, you see your father here, you see your mother here. You want to save them, don't you? We gonna do the same thing to them. Just denounce that faith right there. Come on.
For husband or wife or helpless children.
And it goes both ways on a wife. Because when Satan took Eve down, I gave away the answer. Huh? When Satan came to take down everything, he started with who? He started with the woman. Esau gonna come to some of y'all women. Hey, just give up your husband. Give up your husband. They might mail you some letters saying from a female talking about they cheated on you. You might get a random text out of nowhere. Hey, how you doing? Are you good? I'm saying, you like, what? Who that is? I don't know who that is. Esau know who it is, and he try to break y'all up. Are you gonna be faithful? You know your husband. You know his routine. You know how he moves. You know his characteristics. You get a random text now. You want a divorce? These are the type of things they're gonna be doing to us. They what they did to the Black Panthers. They were sending letters to Malcolm X's wife. They'll do the same thing to us. Wives, will you be faithful to your husbands, or will you gonna believe what the white man tells you? Only time will tell. Keep reading.
Were they, by their fatal obstinacy, to bring bereavement and disgrace, shame and poverty on these unoffending ones? Then behind all these spacious arguments.
2 Maccabees 7. I'm about to skim through it. I knew when I put together I was gonna finish this class. But I told myself I was. 2 Maccabees 7 to 20.
2 Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 20. But the mother was marvelous above all.
This is about the 7 sons. Y'all already know about this history. Some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. All her sons were tortured before her face. Come on.
And worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of one day.
Imagine all your 7 sons killed in the same day. Come on.
She bare it with a good courage.
She bare it with a good courage. Come on.
Because of the hope that she had in the Lord.
She had some faith. This sister has some faith. This is a sister you sisters got to draw parallels to and say, Lord, pray for a portion of that spirit. Because it's going to come to you. Men, it might be a little bit easier. Hey, then Peter's wife get killed with him. Peter got crucified, and as he was hanging crucified, they brought his wife right past him. Was that by coincidence? No. And what did he say? Remember the Lord. That's all he said. And she remembered, and she took her death. She was faithful unto death. What if your wife you get tortured, and she just come and say, I can't do it? Dang, bro. That's crazy. And then you start reflecting. Did I build her up enough? All these thoughts start rushing through your mind, and you in the midst of torture. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere I was going at the last minute, I can't do it. That's why y'all gotta meditate on all these classes ain't for no reason. They trying to prepare us. I'm still trying to get prepared. Get number 13. Read in like manner. In like manner.
In like manner, must the Christian athlete who look forward to a possible martyr's trial train himself.
So we have to train ourselves to be martyred. Accepting torture don't come easy. Absolutely not. We got to train ourselves to accept that willingly and yearn for it. We're going to read. We're going to read and show you how our brothers and sisters yearn for that. Read the next highlight.
The prize of martyrdom was very great.
You see that thing? Come on.
The visions and dreams of the blessed sufferers were constantly read aloud in the congregation.
Imagine you have a dream, you getting tortured to your death. You coming to Sabbath, yo, guess what happened, bro? Hey, bro, they had me upside down. A dog was eating my head while I was screaming. But I didn't feel it, though. Imagine they reading their torture stories in the front of the congregation. That's next level faith right there. This is what we got to get to. This is what we got to get to. I know we ain't all there. I hope I'm there. I don't even know if I'm there yet. Only time I'm going to tell. Keep reading.
At the moment after death, angels would bear them in two.
Angels. Oh, I ain't want that part yet. Hold up, my bad. Get Luke 5. I didn't want that part. But we're going to come back to that part. Luke 5:33. Now you got to ask yourself, damn, they was reading about their tortures in the congregation. The brother got cooked alive and said, turn me over. How do they get to that type of faith when they can say that? Luke 5:33.
Luke chapter 5, verse 33. And they said unto him, why do the disciples of John fast often and make prayers? And likewise the disciples of the Pharisees, but thine eat and drink.
He said, why they fasting, but your disciples ain't fasting? Come on.
And he said unto them, can ye make the children of the bride chamber fast while the bridegroom is with them?
He said, are they going to fast while I'm right here with them? What's the point of them fasting if I'm here? Come on.
But the days will come.
The days will come. That day of Jacob's trouble. Come on.
When the bridegroom shall be taken away from them.
When Christ is going to die.
And then shall they fast in those days.
That's how we prepare for martyrdom. We got to fast. We got to flip that. I'm going to show you how heavy fasting is. This is how we prepare for martyrdom. This is how we prepare to be faithful unto death. Pull up that book. This is called The Spirituality of Fasting by H.H. Pope. Come on. Read that.
Joy of fasting. We are not of the type of people who fast, and while fasting long, for the time to break our fast.
Right. You ain't supposed to be fasting. And, bro, I be up there, brothers be like, hey, the sun down yet? The sun? What type of spirit you in? Why you even asking me that? My rib used to ask me that. I'm put on the spot. I said, hey, we breaking the fast with the bread and wine. Don't text me that no more. Because your mindset got supposed to be laser-like, folks. You shouldn't be like, yo, it's 6:35. It's set. We got 20 more minutes, brother. It shouldn't be like that. You should yearn to fast again. You shouldn't yearn to break your fast. Keep reading.
On the contrary, when we are not fasting, we long for the time when fasting will return.
That's the mindset we got to get to. That's why Captain D, I think Deacon Laba said, hey, fast twice a week. Try to fast twice a week. Come on, give me the next page. Read that. Fasting
and martyrdom. It is natural that he who cannot abstain from food would find it difficult to offer his life.
You can't abstain from food. You think you're going to be able to abstain the torture? You can't go 24 hours without eating or drinking nothing? You think you're going to be able to go 2 hours of torture? Yeah, I ain't got the clip, but they got something called the black box. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. They put you in a black box, cramped up like this, and guess what? They'll just funnel songs, music, little children screams into the box. You'll go crazy. These people was crazy, bro. The mindset you just think to do something like this is wild. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Let's sew him into an animal. Leave his head. Who thinks like that? Our enemies think like that. And they thinking like that right now. Right? Already I'm doing this class. They thinking of ways to torture us. Go back to the book.
Through continuous training and negligence for the bodily needs.
Continuous training and negligence for what your body actually needs. Come on.
A courageous soul is trained to endure hunger and thirst.
Come on.
Bring the body into subjection to conquer the desires and lust of the body.
So when you fast, it gives you the power to conquer your desires and lusts that plague you every day. Come on.
It is able to endure the hardships of imprisonment.
You're going to be able to endure the imprisonment when they throw you in jail.
And the pain of torture.
And the pain of torture. That comes through fasting. Afflicting your souls. Know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about you brothers who want to say, hey, let me eat a whole big nice meal before I fast so I don't feel it. What type of fast is that? You supposed to suffer. Your body supposed to yearn for something. And you denying it. You going to yearn to recant your faith. Your body going to yearn to do it. You got to be able to say, nah, this is what we're doing. We being faithful unto death. But it comes through fasting. You got to prepare. They had schools. We're going to get into it. Keep reading.
These people were able, through God's grace, to offer their bodies up to death at the time of martyrdom.
Come on.
Thus, fasting became the training of the spiritual school of martyrs.
Fasting became the training of the spiritual school of martyrs. They had a school specifically set for you to get killed. they gave certificates and everything. I'm telling y'all, this thing crazy. Keep reading.
Not only in the physical sense, but also from the spirituality gained.
All right, drop that. 18. I'm trying to speed through some of this. 18. Let me see. Read the part where it says he must go. It's the fourth line. It's the end of the fourth line.
He must go through many long, laborious, and painful exercises. Abstinence. Watchings. Fastings. Before his body was fit to endure the perils and sufferings of a trained combatant in the public arena.
This is what they was doing when they was fighting in the public arenas, right? But read the next line.
In like manner.
The same way they had to go through painful exercises, abstinence, fastings before they were fit to enjoy the perils of combat in the arena. In like manner, what?
Must the Christian athlete,
the Israelite,
who looked forward to a possible martyr's trial, train himself.
The same way we got to train ourselves. It said who looked forward to being martyred. Brothers, how many of y'all pray to get martyred? Not a hand up. Sisters? I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'll be praying for that thing. You know what I'm saying? I'll be praying for that thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I really believe it, but I'll be praying for it. You know what I'm saying? Read the next line.
The prize of martyrdom.
Read the bottom part at the moment.
At the moment, after death, angels will bear them into.
So after your death from the torture, angels will do what? Bear them into
paradise, the garden of God.
Play that clip. Number 20. Start at 125. If you ain't see this movie, check your spirit. Sometimes I watch the trailer of this movie to get hype. I watched the trailer the other day at work, bro. I was looking at my supervisor like, you don't even know who you talking to. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful when you watch these clips, right? Start at 125. This one, Nat Turner was being hung. He was being killed, right? Come on. Stop. Pause it. He starts smiling. You think he was feeling pain in that moment? When you see a beautiful black angel right there, and yes, brothers, they're all women angels. That's Zechariah, 5 and 9, I believe. You know what I'm saying? But imagine this. You getting tortured, and you looking up, and you smiling. You don't feel nothing. Because they said what? The angels will bear you into their arms, into the paradise of God. But you got to get there through that fasting and training yourself, constantly training. All right, Acts 7. Bro, I got way too much, bro. I don't think I'm halfway through, which is crazy. Acts 7 verse, I know this. Acts 7 and verse 55.
Acts chapter 7 and verse 55. But he, being full of the Holy Ghost.
This when Stephen was stoned, come on.
Looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of God, and Jesus standing on the right hand of God.
So you think Stephen felt that? I ain't saying he didn't. I ain't saying he did. But imagine that. You getting stoned and you looking up and you say, I see the glory of God. It's the same thing Nat Turner did. Looked up and he just started smiling. Right before he got tortured, he got hung to his death. That's what we're going to have to do. That's what we're going to have to go through. And guess what? They got new tortures now. All this technology, you can imagine what type of things they thinking of doing to us. Give me 21. 21, I want you to start at where it says, I saw in a dream. That's the fourth line. I saw in a dream.
I saw in a dream the martyr, Bishop of Carthage, and I said to him, ciphering, is the death stroke very agonizing?
So he said, hey, does it hurt when you get put to death? Come on.
He replied, when the soul is in a state of heavenly rapture, the suffering flesh is no longer ours.
Keep going.
The body is quite insensible to pain.
When what?
When the spirit is with God.
Y'all see that thing? Insensible to pain when the spirit is with God. When the spirit is with God. Then it said it scourged those that get near unto him. But when your spirit is so knit together with the Most High, he going to take that pain for you. But you got to build yourself up to that. I can't do it. You got to build yourself up to that. Keep reading.
This conception of the insensibility to pain on the part of the martyr was a very general one.
So it said, hey, this is like not like a new thing or nothing. A lot of people had the same account. Keep reading.
Tertullian repeats it almost in identical words. S. Felicius, quoted in the Passion of S. Perpetua above referred to, said, when I am in the amphitheater, the Lord will be there and will suffer for me.
You see that thing? When I'm going through that, the Lord going to be there. He going to suffer for me. How you think the Maccabee sons were able to see that torture and accept it? The brother put his tongue out. He didn't make a sound as they was torturing him. It's the same thing we're reading about. We are our forefathers. We are our foremothers. Right? Yeah, keep reading. This part heavy right here. Come on.
S. Perpetua, in the same well-known passion, after having been tossed and gored by a wild and maddened beast.
And guess what? This is a sister we talking about. She was gored by a wild, maddened beast. Come on.
Woke up from the ecstasy into which she had been plunged.
Imagine this. A wild animal come gore this sister, flip her over, and she wake up after she got plunged. Come on.
And asked the official standing near her when she was to be exposed to the infuriated animal.
She like, when you gonna let the animal out? She got gored by her, laid down, got up, and went to the official. When is it gonna start? When the torture gonna start? This is crazy. This is crazy. Let me see. Keep reading. Come on, the article. Come on.
S. Bladina, in another cruel scene of martyrdom, was equally insensible to pain. Her soul was far away speaking with or praying to the Lord.
Her soul was already with the Lord during the time of that. He said, you confess me, guess what? You ain't going to feel any of that pain right there. Some heavy stuff we reading, brothers and sisters. We got to prepare ourselves to do the same thing when our number is called. I mentioned that, so I'm going to skip that. 2 Maccabees 7, verse 41.
2 Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 41.
All praises.
Last of all, after the sons of the mother died.
Last of all, after the sons, the mother died. It never says what happened to the mother. You could just imagine what they did to her. She see all her sons die. She teaching them in her language not to consent. After the last one died, they all looked to her. And they did her dirty. I know they did her dirty. But guess what? She might have not felt 1 inch of that torture. Because she had faith in the Lord. She was faithful unto death. Right? 22. Read this right here. This fervent exhortation.
This fervent exhortation closes with the singular words, an overfed Christian would be more necessary to bears and lions, perchance, than to God.
See that thing? That's why we got to fast. An overfed Christian going to be more necessary to bears and lions than to God. Because right when that torture start, you're going to denounce your faith. It was another article. I cannot find this for nothing. But some dude was getting tortured. They just started. This little girl woke up. She was 14 years old. She was like, and the dude denounced his faith. Right as it started, she started blasting him. You know what I'm talking about? She's like, you faithless man. He just started and you going to give in already? And guess what they did? They beheaded her. She was 14. Well, I'm thinking, what kind of parents she had to raise her up to be in that spirit? We gotta draw parallels, and we gotta start to get our mindset into what's to come. Because we saw the wars and rumors of wars, right? We see World War III almost popping off. You said we was this close from somebody shooting a nuclear missile the other day. Sunday. Affliction is coming, brothers and sisters. Whether you ready or not. Hold up. Drop down. I'm gonna have to skip all. I'm gonna skip this whole thing right here. Go to 20. There's some good stuff. I don't want to skip this thing. Give me 23. Give me number 23. Go to the bottom where it says, Dear Roman congregation.
Dear Roman congregation, do nothing which may hinder me from finishing my course.
So this is Ignatius. He was a mighty brother. He was wrong to the whole congregation and say, hey, y'all better not interfere with what I'm about to do right here. You know I've been training for this. Come on.
If you keep silence, God will speak through me. He evidently feared that through the intercession.
Now you can skip that. He thought somebody was going to speak on his behalf so he don't get put to death at that time. Go to pray. Yeah, pray.
Pray, he wrote, that I may have strength to do as well as to say.
He said, just pray that I'm able to do what I've been saying. Come on.
If only you will keep silence and leave me alone. I am a word of God.
He said, I am a word of God. I don't know what that means. That sounds good, though. I'm going to start saying that. I'm going to say that to Ball. I'm saying, brother, hey, I am a word of God. That thing sound good. And imagine everybody, you reading this in front of the whole congregation. He about to get put to death. Come on.
But if you desire my life, then shall I be again a mere cry.
If you stop this, I'm just a mere cry. I'm just talking. Come on.
It is good to get from the world unto God, that I may rise unto him.
It's good to lead this world that I can rise unto him. Go to, I keep reading.
I would that all men should know that of my own free will.
Of my own free will.
I die for God.
I'm going to die for God. Of my own will, I'm going to die for God. Come on.
Let me be given to the wild beasts.
Let the wild beasts come and take me. Come on.
That I may be found pure, bread of God or of Christ.
24. It says, bear with me. Come on.
Bear with me. Now am I beginning to be a disciple.
Read that again.
Bear with me. Now am I beginning to be a disciple.
He said, now I am beginning to be a disciple through the torture that was set before him, that he had to go through, that he wanted so bad. He said, now I'm beginning to be a disciple. There's some crazy stuff right here, bro. Keep reading.
Come, fire, and cross, and grapplings with wild beasts.
They could burn me. They could crucify me. I'll fight a bear if I got to. Come on.
Wrenching of bones.
They could wrench my bones.
Hacking of limbs.
They could have the hands.
Crushing of my whole body.
Come on.
Come, cruel tortures of the devil to assail me.
What devil? That same devil that we read about in Revelations 2. Come on.
Only be it mine to obtain unto Jesus Christ.
Only let it be for me attaining to Jesus Christ. Jump down to I write unto you.
I write unto you in the midst of life, yet lusting after death.
I'm writing to you in the midst of life, but I'm lusting to die for the Lord. Come on.
My desire or my love of life has been crucified.
He said, I don't care about nothing on this earth no more. Come on.
There is now no fire of earthly longing in me, but only water living and speaking in me and saying within me, come to the Father.
The only thing in me saying, come to the Father. Come on.
I have no delight in the food of corruption or in the delights of life.
I don't care about no cars. I don't care about no sports. I don't care about no woman. Come on.
I desire the bread of God, which is the flesh of Christ.
Read.
And for drink, I desire his blood, which is love incorruptible.
Give you goosebumps. 2 Corinthians 1. 2 Corinthians 1. Now, everybody we reading about, these the same people we going to have to replicate when our time has come. When our number is called. When we got to prove ourselves faithful unto the Lord. 2 Corinthians 1. Let me see. 2 Corinthians 1 and verse 9.
2 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 9. But we had the sentence of death in ourselves.
This is what we all got to have, brothers and sisters. We got to have a sentence of death in ourselves. Just like Ignatius had, all the forefathers that we just read about, all the foremothers that we read about, they had a sentence of death in them. They didn't care about life no more. They didn't care about the material things. They didn't care about their house. They didn't care about sex. They didn't care about money, fame. They yearned to be with the Lord. Say, I am a word of God. Put that on a t-shirt. Come on.
That we should not trust in ourselves.
Come on.
But in God, which raiseth the dead.
God gonna raise you up. Come on.
Who delivered us from so great a death.
God is gonna deliver us from so great a death. No matter what torture come your way, the Lord said he shall be saved out of it. Come on.
And doth deliver. In whom we trust that he will yet deliver us.
You gotta trust he will deliver us. And have the sentence in death in yourself knowing none of this is real. This ain't my real life. I'm yearning for that real life. If you got that mindset, you're going to be like, I'm dead already. Play that clip.
You then, perhaps, now should take over the leadership of the black Muslims.
No, I have no desire to take over the leadership of the black Muslims, and I have never had that desire.
Are you not, perhaps, afraid of what might happen to you as a result of making these revelations?
Oh, yes. I probably am a dead man already.
He said that thing with a smile. That's how we. If death don't fear you, if you ain't shaken by death, what can they do to you? What can they do to you? If a man no longer fears death, he's unstoppable. And they understand that. But we got to understand that and fast and prepare ourselves to prove that we don't fear death. Acts 21:13. Acts 21:13. I'm going to give you an overview of this. A prophet named Agabus came. He took the girdle. He took the armbands. He said, whoever owns this is going to be bound at Jerusalem. I'm giving y'all the quick backstory. Come on.
Acts chapter 21, verse 13. Then Paul answered, what mean ye to weep and to break mine heart?
So they belong to Paul. He knew he was going to go to Jerusalem and get locked up. Come on.
For I am ready not to be bound only.
I ain't ready just to go to jail.
But also to die at Jerusalem.
For what?
For the name of the Lord Jesus.
Paul had the sentence of death in himself. He said, don't cry and weep. I'm ready to die right now. Right now. I'm ready to go to prison and to die right now for the name of Christ. So what are you scared for? Got to build your faith. Isaiah 35:4. We read these examples and we got to put ourselves in their shoes to relive what they did when it comes upon us. Come on.
Isaiah chapter 35, verse 4. Say to them that are of a fearful heart.
Anything we going over, you scared, it's understandable. You got to build your faith. If you have a fearful heart of the torture, I know they say one of the worst tortures is peeling off your fingernails. That thing hurts. You scared of that? Okay. There's nothing wrong with being scared of that. But the Lord says, say to them of a fearful heart, come on.
Be strong.
Be what?
Be strong.
Come on.
Fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even God, with a recompense.
He gonna recompense them.
He will come and save you.
The Lord gonna save you out of all of that. What you scared for? Build your faith up. These classes ain't just meant for you to just come in here and be a fly on the wall. You ain't meant to come to the Sabbath day and then just look forward to talking and joking with the sisters after, talking and joking with the brothers after. You're here to build your spirit for martyrdom, for Jacob's trouble that's coming. Psalms 27 and verse 1. This ain't no hangout spot. This is a preparation spot. Come on.
Psalms chapter 27, verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?
The Lord is your salvation and light. Who you gonna be scared of? Come on.
The Lord is the strength of my life.
Uh-huh.
Of whom shall I be afraid?
Who am I be afraid of? Play 26.
No, I don't worry. I tell you, I'm a man who believed that I died 20 years ago. And I live like a man who is dead already. I have no fear whatsoever of anybody or anything.
Esau like, he got to go. He got to go. I'm telling you, Michael must with the truth, bro. I'm telling you. But hey, the Lord didn't want it like that. Keep reading. Psalms 27, verse 2.
Verse 2. When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and failed.
When the wicked come against you to eat your flesh, they going to stumble and fall. They might torture you. They might kill you in the sight of man. But the Lord said they going to still stumble and fall. Keep reading.
Though in hosts should encamp against me,
they could have 1,000 brothers surrounding me. Come on.
My heart shall not fear.
I'm not going to be scared of that. Come on.
Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident.
Hold on. Read that last part again. Though what?
Though war should rise against me.
Y'all remember we read the dragon made war with the remnant of her seed? Though war rise up against us, what? Read it again.
Though war shall rise against me, in this will I be confident.
Confident in what? That he will not fear. That the Lord is your salvation. Get Psalms 3 and 6. Psalms chapter 3, verse 6.
Psalms chapter 3, verse 6. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about.
We ain't gonna be scared of none of these hosts that they got. We don't care how they surround us. We ain't worried about it. Because guess what? If we doing what the Lord say, he gonna be there. He gonna suffer for us. He gonna suffer for us. Isaiah, I'm gonna skip that. 2 Maccabees 15, 7. 2 Maccabees chapter 15, verse 7.
2 Maccabees chapter 15 and verse 7.
Uh-huh.
But Maccabeus had ever sure confidence that the Lord would help him.
Just as Maccabeus had sure confidence the Lord was going to help, we got to have sure confidence the Lord going to help us. Come on.
Wherefore, he exalted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them.
And it might be fearful reading how people got dragged through the street continuously. It might be fearful reading how people got scalped, how people got hung alive, ate alive by animals. It may be fearful, but we got to exhort one another not to fear the coming of the heathen. We know they're coming after us, and they can't kill us. Keep reading.
But to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven.
And do what?
And now to expect the victory.
Expect the what?
The victory.
We got to expect the victory. And what?
And aid which should come unto them from the Almighty.
Don't be scared when it come. Rejoice. Be ever rejoiceful. Because you suffering like your forefathers suffered. Like your foremothers suffered. And they suffered so they could be speaking with the creator of all things. An angel personally took him and pushed you into the bosom of Christ. You got to imagine this stuff. Have ever sure confidence the Lord is going to help you. Because if you don't, you're going to deny Christ before men. 2 Ezra 16, 75. I might finish this class. Come on.
2 Ezra 16, verse 75.
Hold up, let me get it real quick. All right, come on.
Be ye not afraid.
He keeps saying be afraid. We read about all the troubles, everything's going to happen. He keeps saying don't be afraid. Why? Because he's telling you, I want you to have faith when I come back. I want you to believe. I want you to build your faith up. That's what he's saying. Come on.
Neither doubt.
Don't even doubt.
For God is your guide.
Hold that. Matter of fact, drop that. It said, don't be afraid. Don't doubt. For God is your guide. Get Psalms 48 and 14. Psalms chapter 48, verse 14. God is your guide. Come on.
Psalms chapter 48, verse 14. For this God is our God.
He's our God. We ain't sharing him no more. Sorry, Esau. Sorry, Ishmael. He our God. We taking him back. This God is our God. Come on.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever.
He will be our God.
He will be our God.
Even unto death.
Even unto death, he going to be our God. The Lord's going to guide us. Even to the torture, he going to be our God. He going to be our God forever and ever. He's going to prove that you're worthy of him. Psalms 9:13. Come on.
Psalms chapter 9, verse 13. Have mercy upon me, O Lord. Consider my trouble, which I suffer of them that hate me. Thou that liftest me up from the gates of death.
That lifted me up from what?
From the gates of death.
I don't even know what that means. I read out like, that's some good stuff right there, though. I think it's in correlation with the class. He gonna lift you up from the gates of death. What does that mean? I don't know. I think it fit right there, though. My bad, y'all. Matthew 10:28. I think it fit. You know what I'm saying? He gonna lift us up from the gates of death. Matthew 10:28.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body.
Don't fear them that going to kill us, because they're going to kill us. Come on.
But are not able to kill the soul.
But they can't kill our spirit. They can't kill our spirit. Come on.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Fear the Lord. Fear that's your soul being destroyed in the second death, in that thermonuclear fire, in the lake of fire. Fear that. Don't fear no torture. What can man do to you that God can't? So what you scared for? Stick to this mindset. If we die, we live. If we die, we live. We cannot die. Bro's looking at me crazy right now. We cannot die. You understand what I'm saying? They don't understand what I'm saying. We can't die. So why I'm be scared of what this white man gonna do to me? Gotta build up. If we die for this truth, we gonna live forever with Christ. There's some heavies. Hey, bro, this Bible, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get 1 Thessalonians 5. I'm almost done. That's crazy. 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 9.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 9. For God have not appointed us to wrath.
He ain't appointed us to wrath. That the white man is appointed to wrath. He can't do nothing to change his fate. He getting eradicated. 1,000 years of slavery, then adios. Come on.
But to obtain salvation by our Lord Jesus Christ.
God appointed us to obtain salvation. Come on.
Who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep,
whether we alive or whether we're dead,
we should live together with him.
We gonna live with him no matter what. Whether you in the grave when he come back, whether you getting tortured when he come back, whether you hiding out when he come back, we gonna live with him. Ain't none of y'all living yet. Nobody living yet. You think, oh, I retired, I got my pension. I take vacations every other week. You ain't living. You ain't seen living yet. We ain't seen living yet, right? Wisdom of Solomon 3. Wisdom of Solomon 3 verse 1. Come on.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God.
Our souls are in the hand of God. Literally. Come on, keep reading.
And there shall no torment touch them.
No torment is going to touch you. But didn't it say we're going to get tortured? But no torment is going to touch you. That's that lake of fire. The souls of the righteous who confess Christ unto death, they ain't going to get no torment. You might get some torture. But we read in them articles. What we read? The Lord going to suffer for you. If you believe. If your faith is built up on that level. Come on, keep reading.
In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die.
It's going to look like they did us dirty in the sight of the unwise. Come on.
And their departure is taken for misery.
It's going to look like we died in misery. Come on.
And they're going from us to be utter destruction.
But what?
But they are in peace.
They are in peace with the King of peace. We ain't even experienced peace yet. We haven't experienced peace since we stepped foot on this earth yet. we're going to be in peace. Even though we get tortured, even though they take our goods, even though they cast us into prison, even though they take our wives, our children, your husbands, your fathers, your mothers, we're going to be in peace. But we got to be faithful unto death. Isaiah 57. Verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 57, verse 1. The righteous perisheth, and no man layeth it to heart. And merciful men are taken away.
Come on.
None considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come.
Don't ever get to the point where you get so choked up over somebody dying in this truth. If they died in this truth, all praises to the Most High. We got to get to that point. We got to get to the point where we go to funerals and nobody's crying. We going to get to that point. I'm telling you, one way or the other. Because we're going to be going through so much. We're going to be looking forward to death. So when it's, oh, such and such got beheaded, all praises to the Most High God. That thing is going to destroy our spirit. No, it's going to put us on 100. We got to get to that mindset. Keep reading.
He shall enter into peace.
Then Wisdom of Solomon said you're going to be in peace even though your departure is taken for misery. He said, no, the righteous are going to enter into peace. Come on.
They shall rest in their beds.
Come on.
Each one walking in his uprightness.
Walking in his uprightness, meaning walking with Christ himself. You're going to get put to death, and you're going to be walking with Christ himself. This is what the Bible's saying. So what you scared of? We can't die. We can't die. Wisdom of Solomon 3. Go right back.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Verse 4.
Verse 4. For though they be punished in the sight of men.
In the sight of men, it's going to look like we punished. Come on.
Yet is their hope full of immortality.
Our hope going to be full of immortality. Read.
And having been a little chastised.
Having been what?
A little chastised.
So you telling me getting boiled alive is a little chastised? You telling me losing my $400,000 house is a little chastised? Being beheaded is a little chastised? That's what it is. A little chastised. You know why it's little? Because it ain't going to be in comparison to what the Lord is going to give us. Come on.
They shall be greatly rewarded.
Greatly rewarded to a point where no man on earth can understand what that reward going to really be. Come on.
For God proved them.
God did what?
He proved them.
God is going to prove us through Jacob's trouble, through the affliction, through the torture, through the death, through the pain. Come on.
And found them worthy for himself.
That's the only way we're going to be worthy to the Most High. If we are going through that little chastisement, the torture, spoiling of goods, imprisonment, loss of family, loss of funds, God said, now you're worthy for me. Because guess what? You went through the same thing that I went through. And you made it out of that thing. Keep reading.
As gold in the furnace hath he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering.
I don't need no bulls. You my burnt offering. Come on.
And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble.
That's that celestial power we gonna have. Come on.
They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people.
We're going to have dominion over every nation that afflicted us. Everyone that tortured us, that did us harm. Every one of them, we're going to have dominion over them. Meaning when we say go, I'm going to show you that dominion a little bit. Get Psalms 18. We're going to have dominion over the nations. Psalms 18, verse 43.
The book of Psalms, chapter 18 and verse 43. Thou hast delivered me from the strikings of the people.
The strivings
of the people. And thou hast made me the head of the heathen.
What, you made me what?
The head of the heathen.
I'm the head of the heathen. I'm gonna say something crazy just there. I'm the head of the heathen. You ever seen the movie Head of State when Chris Rock was the president? We're gonna be the head of the heathen. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna rule over everything they do. Can't nobody cough without us knowing. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
A people whom I have not known shall serve.
A people who we never knew, they going to serve us, whether they want to or not. And I hope that they don't want to, so I can make them want to. Come on.
As soon as they hear of me.
As soon as they hear of us.
They shall obey me.
As soon as they hear of us, they going to obey us. And you scared about what he going to do to you right now in his fleshly body? Keep reading.
The strangers shall submit themselves unto me.
They're going to submit unto us. Stop resisting. That's going to be our motto. Stop resisting. Romans 8. Y'all got that clip? Don't play it now. Don't play that. Romans 8. 2 more scriptures and we out here. 8 and 35.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ?
Ask yourself this question. Who going to separate you from the love of Christ? Who going to do it? Come on.
Shall tribulation?
Is the tribulation going to separate you from Christ? When we getting beheaded, when we getting cast into prison, is that going to separate you from Christ? Come on.
Or distress?
Distress going to separate you?
Or persecution?
Come on.
Or famine?
Because that famine is coming to America too. Don't think we escape that. Famine coming to America too. Is that going to separate you from the love of Christ? When your child is crying because they ain't eating a week, are you going to give up the faith then? The Lord said, my righteous will never go hungry, right? We ain't going to starve to death if we keeping these commandments. Some of us might starve to death to prove our faith. When he said, I'm going to feed you, that don't mean you might not go through 2 weeks without eating. He's saying, I'm going to sustain you. But you're going to have to go through that. Is that going to separate you from the love of Christ? When there ain't no food nowhere and you see a nice big fat pig run by. Is that going to separate you? It sounds funny now. But imagine you starving. Keep reading.
Or nakedness.
When they take everything that belongs to you, come on.
Or pearl.
Uh-huh.
Or sword.
Read.
As it is written, for thy sake.
For the Lord's sake.
We are killed all the day long.
They're going to kill us all the day long. They've been doing it and they will continue doing it. Come on.
We are counted as sheep for the slaughter.
Read.
Nay, in all things.
And you know what's crazy about that? We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. You know, when the sheep dies, it makes no noise. I know, we kill some for Passover. Them things don't make no noise. You could kill a sheep, another sheep watching, you come and bring it to get slaughtered, and they ain't going to make a noise. Now you understand when he said, I'm going to separate the sheep from the goats. Because when you kill a goat, it makes a crazy screeching noise. We killed the goat. That thing was kicking with his head off. I was like, what type of witchcraft is this? But the sheep, they're going to accept their death. They're going to see their brother and sister get put to death, and they're going to go right in line. Keep reading.
Nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors.
In all these things, that none of this separated us from the love of Christ. We more than conquerors. Come on.
Through him that loved
Through
us.
Christ that loved us. Read.
For I am persuaded that neither death.
Neither what?
Neither death.
Neither death.
Nor life.
Come on.
Nor angels. Nor principalities. Nor powers. Nor things present. Nor things to come. Nor height. Nor depth. Nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus our Lord.
Nothing is going to separate us from being faithful unto death. Play that clip.
Reason to fear death. Why?
If a man keep my saying, he shall never see death.
You all understand that? So we have to fear no man, no governments, principalities. This is what the apostles of them understood. That's why when you go back to Revelation
chapter 12 verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
We overcame Satan by the blood of the Lamb. Read on.
And by the word of their testimony.
And the word of our testimony. Read on.
And they loved not their lives.
And we don't love the life we got in this body. Read on.
Unto the death.
Even if we die. So you all see why they had
Take it off. They love not their lives even unto death. Last scripture. John 11:25. John 11:25.
John chapter 11 and verse 25. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me.
He that does what?
Believeth in me.
He that believes on me.
Though he were dead.
Even though you were dead.
yet shall he live.
Yet shall he live. Read.
And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die.
Shall what?
Shall never die.
Christ said, you believe on me, you never gonna die. Whether you dead now or whether you alive. If you believe on me, you will never die. Read.
Believest thou this?
Do you believe this? If the answer is yes, the Lord is going to prove you. Those boys got sent from the class. Officer Nehemiah, IUIC Houston, all praises.